Hello friends, today we have to deal with day 48, reading skill part. Let's start with the passage. You might have realized that the passage is a story. Passage एक छोटी सी कहानी है. But it is not that the story has a proper beginning, the story has a proper end. You have to realize the situations of the story. Whenever a story is given to you, seldom, if the questions are given in at a higher level, see, after in graduation, it's not that you shall be given a complete story with a proper beginning, proper end. You shall be given an episode at the middle or somewhere, not towards the beginning or towards the end. You have to realize the situation. So now let's see about this passage. What if no more cars come? अगर कोई और कार नहीं आता है तो क्या होगा? Means that person, the thought screamed in Christ's head. उसके दिमाग में ये thought आया. Means this person was waiting for some vehicles. कोई कार गुजरा होगा. His wet clothes were stiffening as the temperature dipped towards freezing. Temperature तेजी से कम हो रहा था and his clothes were stiffening, कड़े हो रहे थे उसके clothes. Means ठंड बहुत ज्यादा थी. What would happen to his father and Stephanie? Father और Stephanie का क्या हुआ होगा? His father and Stephanie means three characters are there in this episode. Should he stay or go back? क्या उसे वहां रुकना चाहिए और go back? Yes, he had to go back and make sure that his family was okay. Then he would make a plan. वो वापस जाए, देखे कि उसकी फैमिली सही है और तब वो फिर से प्लान बनाएगा. By the time Chris got to the stream, नदी की धारा, the sun had set. सूरज डूब चुका था. Means he was waiting in during the day. स्ट्रीम दूर था, वहां पहुंचा तब तक सूरज डूब चुकी थी, धारा बह रही थी. The thought of crossing that frigid flow again, वो इसी को क्रॉस करके आया था. अब फिर से एक्सट्रीमली कोल्ड धारा को, पानी को क्रॉस करना filled him with fear, dread. But he stilled himself. उसने अपने आप को कड़ा किया, मजबूत बनाया भीतर से. And plunged into the blood-chilling water, lunging for the other side. वो पानी में कूद गया दूसरी तरफ जाने के लिए. Chris dragged his freezing body back to the top of the hill. वो अपने आप को खींच के पहाड़ की चोटी तक ले गया. फ्रीजिंग, ठंड बहुत ज्यादा थी. एंड ट्राइड टू फाइंड हिज वे थ्रू द टैंगल ऑफ ट्रीज. अपना रास्ता टैंगल ऑफ ट्रीज, बहुत सारे पेड़ थे, उसके बीच से ही वाज क्रॉसिंग दैट. द प्लेन वाज नोवेयर टू बी सीन. जहाज दिखाई नहीं पड़ रहा था. रियलाइज करते रहो, जस्ट ट्राई टू रियलाइज द सिचुएशन ऑफ द स्टोरी एंड थिंक क्या हुआ होगा. Had he backtracked wrong? क्या वो गलत रास्ते पे वापस आया था? He stood, his body shaking, trying to control his breathing. I'm lost, he thought. उसको लगा कि वो भूल गया है. Then, drifting through the awful silence, he heard the eerie, डराने वाली आवाज, sound of his father's voice. उसके फादर की आवाज सुनाई पड़ी. High pitched and tinged with fear. Tinged means colored with fear. डर से भरा हुआ था, बहुत तेज आवाज में फादर की आवाज उसकी सुनाई पड़ी. He followed it back to the crash site. जहां पे उनका प्लेन क्रैश हुआ था वो वहां पे गया। अब देखो कहानी धीरे धीरे समझ में आएगी, यू विल कम टू नो द स्टोरी। एंड फाउंड हिज फैमिली, ऑल थ्री क्रॉल्ड बैक इनटू द केबिन ऑफ द प्लेन, फिर से वो लोग केबिन में चले गए। wrapped themselves in clothes from their luggage and huddled together again against the cold, और आपस में सिकुड़ के वो साथ में मिलके बैठ गए, all three. Snow began to flick against the wind above him. स्नो जो अभी तक नहीं पड़ रही थी वो प्लेन के विंड पे टकराने लगी। बट क्रिस स्टोक्ड अप हिज रिजॉल्व, क्रिस ने अपने डिटर्मिनेशन को कड़ा किया। स्टोक्ड अप, मोटिवेट, उसने अपने डिटर्मिनेशन को। इफ हिज एफर्ट्स हैड फेल्ड टुडे ही वुड ट्राई अगेन टुमारो, अगर आज उसको कोई हेल्प नहीं मिला, मीन्स एक, नाउ द स्टोरी यू कैन से, द थ्री वर फ्लाइंग इन अ प्लेन, द प्लेन crashed in the woods that was mountainous, माउंटेन के बीच में, जंगलों में उसका प्लेन हो गया, बहुत ठंड थी। क्रिस उसमें से निकल के उसने नदी क्रॉस करके वो प्लेन तक पहुंच, वो कहीं हेल्प लेने के लिए पहुंचा, नहीं मिला, वो वापस लौटा, फिर अपने परिवार के पास बाय द इवनिंग वो पहुंच चुका। दैट वॉज देयर विद द स्टोरी। नाउ थिंक रिगार्डिंग द सीक्वेंस ऑफ द एक्सीडेंट विच इंफॉर्मेशन इज नॉट कंटेन्ड इन, कौन सा इंफॉर्मेशन पैसेज में नहीं दिया हुआ है। नाउ थिंक, दो मेंबर्स बेहोश हो गए थे, इट इज नॉट रिटन। इट मेट विद एन एक्सीडेंट इन अ हिल एरिया, देयर वर ओनली 3 मेंबर्स, द थर्ड ट्राइड टू फाइंड एनी हेल्प फ्रॉम द समवेयर, बेहोश हो गए, दे लॉस्ट कॉन्शियसनेस। What hardship did Chris not bear according to the passage? कौन सा मुश्किल उसको नहीं सहना पड़ा था? स्नोफॉल उसको नहीं सहना पड़ा। जब वो वापस लौटा, the moment he returned, they got into the cabin of the plane, then snow started flicking. Crossing mountain, struggling with dense trees, swimming across a stream, he faced all the hardships except snowfall. Which of the following natural scene is missing in there? कौन सा नेचुरल सीन उस पैसेज में नहीं है? स्नो कैप्ड, एकदम पहाड़ से, बर्फ से ढका हुआ पहाड़ की चोटी इज नॉट देयर इन द पैसेज। रिवर ऑफ वेरी कोल्ड वाटर, डेंस फॉरेस्ट, रफ माउंटेन टेरेन, टेरेन मीन्स कंटूर, वो पूरा माउंटेन का एरिया, ज्योग्राफिकल पार्ट, ज्योग्राफिकल स्ट्रक्चर। What actually was Chris's plan? क्रिस का प्लान क्या था? To take help from somewhere, to go to the plane and seek help, to find rescue from anywhere, to return to the family before dark, to get to a safer place by night. His was there that he wanted to go to the plane, the normal area, and car. What if cars, no more car comes? Means he was seeking help from there. Stoked. He stoked his resolve. Resolve means determination as a noun. And that stoked means he stilled. Not he raised determination. उसने ऊंचा नहीं किया. Determination, resolve is there. Stoked means to make it strong. Now, which of the following, if true, would weaken the conclusion? We have to weaken the conclusion. Conclusion को कमजोर करना है. What is the conclusion? Dental researchers recently discovered that toothbrushes can become contaminated with bacteria that cause pneumonia and strep throat. They found that contaminators usually occur after toothbrushes have been used for 4 weeks. After a toothbrush has been used for 4 weeks, the researchers have found. For that reason, people should replace the toothbrushes at least once in a month. So, they should replace the toothbrush at least once in a month. We have to weaken that they should not Because of that contaminated toothbrush, pneumonia and strep throat occurs. We have to weaken. Now look at the options. And if I say option number D first, the dental researchers found that among people who used toothbrushes contaminated with bacteria that cause pneumonia and strep throat, the incidence of these diseases was no higher than among people who used uncontaminated toothbrushes. So, I have to weaken that logic that they should stop using a toothbrush that is 4 weeks old. And if I say that even if the people who are using the toothbrushes that are more than 4 weeks old and the people who are using uncontaminated toothbrushes that are fresh, the mouth diseases are similar. So the conclusion is very clear that contaminated toothbrush is not causing the problems of the mouth, and our logic gets weakened naturally. Others are either illogical or they are strengthening. Say for example, if I say the dental researchers found that after 6 weeks of use, greater length of use of a toothbrush did not correlate with a higher number of bacteria being present. After 6 weeks is talking about, not 4 weeks. Passage is talking about 4 weeks. So if I continue using for 6 weeks, this is out of context. So the other options are out of context, or they are strengthening, or they are totally irrelevant. But this one is weakening, that the mouth disease have nothing to do with contaminated toothbrushes. Now, a single word that fits over there, maximum time. Communism states that a state has got the two meanings, one as a noun, state, and one as a verb, kahna, speak. Every individual must live for a state, for nation. Okay? The state of affairs, this is the phrase. A state of affairs means present condition. No other word will be used over here. Condition has been laid down. Condition का एक मतलब स्थिति और दूसरा मतलब शर्त. Only D. No dash had succeeded in getting complete autonomy from the federal government. That is state. From the federal government means central government. So A comes maximum number of time and your answer is A. Next question. The ingenious, there are two words, ingenious and ingenuous. Ingenious means, see, quite skillful, and ingenuous means honest. Skillful means controlling things very skillfully. Now look at this. The ingenuous smile of the baby. No, honest. मतलब बेईमानी नहीं है, निष्कपट. This word should have been over here. And thanks to the loopholes and the legal system, हमारे legal system में कमजोरियां हैं, and ingenious manipulation of facts, और facts को manipulate किया गया है बहुत बारीकी से. Many offenders escape conviction. Conviction means आरोप से बच गए बहुत सारे offenders. So this word should have been over here and this word should have been over there. So both are incorrect. Next, a common error. During the British period, education was a tool in the hands of the British rulers. The latter rulers used it to further up. See, further has got two meanings. One as an adverb or आगे. Second word further means is a verb. Further up can be used as an adverb, not as a when the further has been used as a verb. Further means to promote without any up or prepositions. And over here, to bhivan, to further their own vested interest, अपने स्वार्थ को और बढ़ाने के लिए. So up is wrong over here. And the last question, look at this. There is a verb, and see, presented also is among the underlined. This is a verb and there is a noun. So once, because if you are looking for the form of the verb, means which form will be used over here, you shall be hugely confused. But present means prastut karna as a verb, and if prastut karna what, that is difficulty is already there, then this verb should be in active form. You may know that if a verb takes an object after it, the verb should be in their active form. And an object already is there of this verb presented. So now the thing is there, had been presented passive, wrong. Had, have, the structure itself is wrong. After had we cannot use have. Had been seemed present, the verb has been wrongly used. Was presented passive, wrong. Would have presented active, and this is the only structure that we have. This question should have been tackled by the concept of voice. I hope you must have enjoyed particularly these sort of questions quite a lot. Keep reading carefully. When you are getting a particularly comprehension and critical reasoning section, you should be very careful in solving the questions. See you with the next set. Thank you.